area, soaking up the sun during one of life's interludes. Think of me with my grandbabies and all the love that has surrounded me. Think of how, as long as I was with you, I was always filled with glee. Whatever you think of when you think of me, know for now it's okay to be sad. But I hope, with a little more time, thinking of me will simply make you glad.
Okay, I got the memories of Grandma, Kathleen. So thanks for everyone that submitted some, so I can get them printed out. Okay, so this is from Jody, my beautiful sister. My first memories of Kathy were when she was in high school and living with Grandma and Grandpa Cottrell. I would visit, and she and Colleen would put their jewelry boxes on the floor of their room and entertain me for hours. I thought Kathy was so beautiful. She gave me pointers on keeping up my appearance, like stopping in the girls' room between classes to comb my hair. It never happened. I was invited to her wedding reception. I worked that day at the California malt shop and changed the reception in the utility closet. I've never worn nylons before, so I just shoved my foot in and arrived with the nylons in shreds, but I was not the focus of attention that day. Kathy and our mom both looked red carpet worthy. She and Harmon left for Montana after the wedding. The following Christmas, Kathy sent me a print of a pinto horse. I cherished that print for many years. Years later, I stopped for a visit on my way east. Tamara was 12. She let me use her bedroom, maybe not by choice, and earned a special spot in my heart. I remember going to one of Paula's basketball games too. In years to follow, I was invited to the cabin and fell in love with it in Beargrass and came to understand Harmon was a truly wonderful soul. Their move to Arizona and subsequent visits introduced me to so many relatives. I remember one Thanksgiving, the night I arrived, Kathy and Harmon had a dinner with 24 people, all relatives. I couldn't keep names straight then and still have challenges. When it was time for dinner, Kathy said to sit down at the table, and I did. All the grown-ups disappeared to gather, wash, and prep plates for the youngsters. 20 or 30 minutes later, we were saying grace. I was so impressed with the care Kathy gave Harmon, and he returned. Once when they visited Seattle, we were downtown, and Harmon said we had to find a place for Kathy to eat. Shortly after, she had pulled me aside to say we needed to find a place for Harmon to rest for a while. And all that she has done for others, she hasn't always been great at taking care of herself. Fortunately, she raised a family that is willing to return the love now that it is needed. One of my favorite memories of my last time at the cabin was going to Mamma Mia Part 2 with Julie Posha, Kathy, and Linda. We sat in the middle of the theater and laughed and laughed and laughed. My most recent visit to Arizona, Randy and Tamara took Kathy and me to Sister Act. What a wonderful experience to top to bottom. I'm so proud of you all for having a wake while Kathy is still here to hear all the nice things you want to say to or about her. Share stories and maybe record the event for those that aren't there to revisit years to come. My love to all, especially my beautiful sister, Jody. She wrote that on the 29th of February. And this is from her daughter, Paula. When I was a teenager, before I could drive, Mom would drive me and my friends at night to go toilet paper our friend's front yard. We would target the bishop, our young women's leaders, and Sunday school teachers. It was not done to be mean, but rather to show our love and affection towards them. Mom didn't usually stay in the car, she got out and helped us. Everyone loved our mom. I think that's before my mom got from too. Sean and I loved to go skiing. One day we talked our mom into going with us. She had never skied before, but we were certain that we could teach her. I have never laughed so hard in my life. Mom would fall as soon as she set off. Sean and I tried to stop her once when she was going pretty fast. Mom did not know how to stop. She eventually fell. One ski went in one direction and the other was buried in the snow. We laughed so hard trying to get our mom up and get her skis back on before she fell again. I remember lying across her skis to stop her from going downhill. Mom was a good sport, but eventually she gave up and went into the ski lodge and got some hot cocoa and read her book. She never tried to go skiing again. When Mom was our young women's camp leader, She would help us think of ways to prank the other groups of campers. After dark, we would put saran wrap over the toilet seats in the outhouses, so they would pee all over themselves. We would borrow food from other camps and take their cooking pots. Every Christmas, Mom would stay up late at night sewing all of us kids matching PJs. When we were little, we loved it, but once we got older, not so much. Mom would sew her girls beautiful church dresses and prom dresses. She was really talented. She even sewed our Barbie dolls' clothes. When my children were born, Mom would sew them a beautiful baby blanket. She had also sewed baby blankets for each of her grandchildren. After Mom started working for the advertising agency, she was rarely home to cook for dinner for Tamara and myself. Anytime she was home, she would offer to cook us scrambled eggs or peanut butter toast. We got real tired of eating eggs and toast. Tamara and Paula would make their own enormous meat and cheese sandwiches, layer upon layer of thin lunch meat, cheese, and barbecue sauce. The taller the sandwich, the better. This one's from Keith, her grandson. I remember her smile, and she always gave the best hugs. I remember she would stop me mid-hug every once in a while and look straight at me and tell me she loved me. I remember little moments like driving into Lincoln and blasting 18-wheelers by Alabama. I remember the hundreds of great memories her and Grandpa gave us kids in creating a summer getaway at the cabin. I remember she was the greatest. Grandma great. Me and Keith went up to the cabin a few times with him, and one of my memories is me and him in fireworks in the Biffy.
And Grandpa.
And Grandpa. We were putting fireworks. I don't remember if it was the vent or...
It was the vent.
It was the vent. We were dropping him down the vent into the Biffy. And if I remember correctly, he was in there, wasn't he? He was in there. And we've been doing it like all day. And he came out, he wasn't the happiest person in the world. I mean, I don't know if he ever really got mad at us, but he was upset. So, you know, Grandpa's talking to us, and Grandma goes, well, it smells better now at least. That was, yeah, good job, Grandma. Thank you. Thank you for that, Grandma, for saving us. One of my other memories of the cabin, too, was no matter what time I woke up, she'd always be sitting there reading her book, eating toast with butter, and drinking chocolate milk. And I don't think she's ever changed that. It was always the same thing. I'm like, you know, there's other breakfast foods too. Maybe get her to eat bacon once or twice. Okay. This is from Haley, her granddaughter. One memory that sticks out was how much she loved Disneyland and how she was down to stay at Disneyland from the time it opened to the time it closed. And she would ride as many rides as we wanted. Whether it was going on the teacups with Erica 4 times in a row, or riding Thunder Mountain with me 19 times while everyone was watching Fantasia. She was happy to race around the park with us, trying to squeeze in as many rides as possible, or sit on a bench to watch with Papa. She loved being at Disney with all of us. This is from Courtney, Monroe, her granddaughter. Grandma never gave up on me and never stopped being there for me. When I wasn't safe a few years back, she helped me to get away and get safe and home. She never stopped loving me and never judged me for being me. Her love never faltered. When I didn't think I could do what had to be done to get safe, she told me, fake it till you make it. Something she had often said all through her life. She knew I could do it, even if I didn't think so. Without her confidence in me and her love and guidance, I don't know where I would be. This is from Tamara, her daughter, my mother. Mom always had an adventurous spirit. When we were kids, we spent many weekends and summer days camping in Lincoln and Glacier National Park. Mom was always excited to attend the nightly ranger talks. go for a hike or swim in the creek or Lake McDonald and Glacier. She sat patiently by and watched as Dad taught us how to play mumbly peg or shoot the pistol at soda cans filled with water and cheered us with her woot woot. She loved to travel and was always up for a trip. Traveling to California when we were young was always an adventure. We would drive all day and night. If Dad got tired, he would pull over into a gas station and sleep for a few hours, or stop at a park in daytime and sleep under a tree while we played. Once we arrived in California, Mom made sure that we had fun and didn't just visit relatives. We would go to Disneyland, SeaWorld, the San Diego Zoo, and the beach. As a grandma, Mom's enthusiasm for adventure only increased. She was ready at the drop of a hat to go on an adventure around the country. She embraced each city, wanting to learn as much as she could, and spent time with us, shopping in local stores or for days at Malls of America and downtown Disney. One summer we spent a month in Florida. We saw the movie Mamma Mia right before we left Gainesville and drove to Orlando. We stopped at Walmart on our way out of town and bought the soundtrack. Mom, Erica, Haley, and I drove to Disney World in our little rental car with the volleyball bags, shopping bags, a prom dress, and other luggage piled at our feet, in between us singing to the soundtrack and at the top of our lungs. We then spent 10 days in Disney World. Mom ran around the park just as fast as we did to make sure that we didn't miss the next Beauty and the Beast show, even if it was the 10th or 11th time we saw it, or a street performance of High School Musical. She stayed in the park until they closed at 2 in the morning, slept in with us until noon the next day. We did it all over again. Memories of the smile of her face, her laugh, and her woo-woo as we raced through the park, or down Thunder Mountain, or around the bend of Space Mountain, will always make me smile. Over the last few days, when I would call and ask if she wanted to go somewhere, she would say, "Anywhere you're going, I'll go." When we picked her up, she'd ask, "Where are we going?" It didn't matter if it was to dinner, to see Christmas lights, or Sedona, or over to San Diego. She'd clap her hands and say, "Hot damn, let's go."
Hot damn.
Okay. Did I miss anyone's stories? No? No one's memories? Okay. And that's the memories I have about Grandma. Connections.
You want to start us out?
You get it up?
Start us out.
I need thee every hour, most gracious Lord. No tender voice like thine can peace afford. I need thee, oh, I need thee. Every hour I need thee. Oh, bless me now, my Savior. I come to thee. I need and abide, for life is vain. I need thee, oh, I need thee. Every hour I need thee. Oh, bless me now, my Savior. I come to thee. I need thee every hour, most holy one. Oh, make me thine indeed, thou blessed Son. I need thee, oh, I need thee. Every hour I need thee. Oh, bless me now, my Savior. I come to thee.
Our dear Father, gracious Heavenly Father, thank you for bringing us here today to celebrate the life of Grandma, for bringing us together to remember her, and thank you for all the time and memories we have with her. Thank you for helping us to know that we can always be together and that families are forever. Thank you for giving Grandma and Grandpa